Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right, today is a beautiful Sunday. So glad that you're here with me today. Our thread for today is, what is the worst thing your best friend has ever done to you? Usually we do dating and what's the worst thing to say on a first date and all that kind of stuff. I thought we'd change it up, do something a little different, and do what is the worst thing your best friend has done to you. So let's get into this one. All right. Spread a rumor that I was gay. Then it backfired. Everyone thought that he was gay with me. You kind of shot yourself in the foot with that one, brother. Oh, my God. We moved in together. First mistake, she was the biggest slob on the planet, never cleaned once, and then got a dog that wasn't house trained and was too lazy to get off her ass and let him out, so the dog ruined the carpet. The whole place stunk. I had a 2-year-old kid at the time and had multiple talks with the roommate about how I can't raise a kid in this disgusting environment. Finally, she told me to just move out. I paid her a full month's rent for the next month, and when moving out, as well as the fee for breaking the lease early. Our relationship was still amicable, though strained at this point. The new place I moved into had a malfunctioning water heater. Blah, 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 blah. CPS temporarily took my kid away from me and put her in foster care. Oh my God. Okay, my child and I have to go through extensive psychology and intelligence tests as we're parenting classes therapy. They concluded that the charges were unfound and finally returned custody of my kid back to me. It took 7 months. Jesus. That is ridiculous. It was bad enough that she was a shit roommate, but it was so bad to the point where she almost got her kid taken away because of this chick. Fuck. Man. All right. I was 12 and eating lunch at school. Not popular at all, but I managed. Saw my only close friend having to eat on his own because our table was full, so I got up to join him and sit with him. He simply stood up and sat in the seat I had just left. Oh, no. I lost contact with him, but I will never forget feeling so shot down in my entire life. It changed the way I interact with people for the worst. Bro, he's sitting at the lunch table and everybody is crowding the table. He sees his friend and he's like, you know what? I'm not going to go let him eat by himself. I'm going to go sit with him. He gets up, and then the so-called friend gets up and sits in his open spot bruh. That's fucked up, dude. He was like, I was about to go do something nice for you. I didn't have to go sit by your lonely ass. God damn. In 8th grade, my 2 best friends who I grew up with decided to hate me. I don't recall doing anything horrible to them to make them be so cruel to me, but they gave me the worst nickname. I asked one of them once to show me how to use a tampon. Okay, this is a girl. All right. My mom passed away when I was 9, and she showed me hers, and I showed her mine. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. According to her, I had a big vagina and enormous flaps, referring to my labia. Pretty soon, the whole school was calling me Flapper, and I was sitting at the loser table at lunch. I was threatened to get beat up by girls and guys. What? They're just like, yeah, I want to beat you up because you have a big vagina? What? Uh-huh. They're just, okay. All right, kid's kind of wild lately. And I had to go to my dad, beaten up by girls and guys, and had to get my dad to drive me to school so I could avoid the bus. It was awful. Freshman year, I made new friends, and everyone eventually forgot about the nickname, but it still hurts me whenever I think about it. What the hell? So she was just like, yeah, we're friends. Oh, yeah, let me see your vagina. Oh, let me see yours. And then they're just like, whoa, bitch, you got huge vagina lips. And then they just called her Flapper for the rest of I'm guessing middle school. Like, what the hell? All right. I don't know why they wanted to beat her up. That was a little weird. Like, ha, you got a big vagina. I want to beat you up. Like, what the fuck? All right. My former best friend banged the guy I was seeing at a party we were all at. Another friend was stopping me from going into a room, but going into a room, but I pushed through anyway because I didn't know what the big deal was about me going into a random room. Yeah, well, I walked in on them. I proceeded to dump my drink on his bare ass and showed myself out. Damn. They were like, no, you don't want to go in there. You don't want to go in there. And she's just like, no, get off me. I want to go in there. And she saw homeboy just on top of her friend, just pounding it. And then she dumped the drink on that dude. Damn. Whoo. God, that sucks. I do love all my friends dearly, but somehow no one thought it was strange that I was the designated driver at my own bachelorette party. Oh, that's fucked up. Like, yo, I'm the main event. I should be getting lit. What the fuck are we talking about here? Damn, that's fucked up, man. Let's see. Told everybody I was on coke. Huh?
Bruh.
Okay. At the time, I had lost 60 pounds very quickly from being on anti-seizure and migraine meds, and everybody was accusing me of being bulimic, anorexic, and or on drugs. She basically confirmed to people that I was addicted to cocaine. Wow. Damn, that's... Yo, some people are so fucked up, man. It's like, if you trying to really figure out what's going on, why don't you just ask them? You know what I mean? Like, god damn, instead of just making some shit up. Like, that's crazy. He made a "your mom" joke 2 months after my mom died, and I punched him in the shoulder for it. Immediately, he warned me. Yeah, he warned me it would happen eventually, and I warned him I'd punch him for it. He agreed that was acceptable. 20 plus years of friendship, and that's the worst thing he's ever done. You know, and that's a dude friendship in a nutshell. Like, if I'm being honest with you, most of these stories have been girls, if I'm being honest with you, because dudes, they don't really give a shit. We're just like, all right, man, we'll either like fight about it or, you know, we'll sock the dude, and then it's just like, all right, it's all over. You know, we're back to being buddies again. Yeah. That's just dude relationships in a nutshell, man. Told me except for the guy that fucking stole the lunch table seat. That was fucked up. All right, man. That one was fucked up. You would get your ass beat and I wouldn't talk to you after that one. That was messed up because I was doing something for you, man. Told me we weren't friends and hadn't been in a long time, less than 4 months before my wedding. Also, she was my maid of honor. Then she was pissed at me when I asked her to step down. Damn. So she was like, oh, we're not even friends and we haven't been for a long time. It was like, then bitch, what are you my maid of honor for? Fuck out of here. Get off my registry. Like, what the hell? Damn, like how, like, she gave you the highest honor possible. Like, oh, I want you to be my maid of honor. I want you to be there, like, alongside of me every step of the way. And then you say some heinous shit like, we've never been friends and we haven't been friends in a long time. Like, that's fucked up. Damn. Oh. Oh, wait. Okay. My best friend in middle school broke up with me via a horrible note saying how I was really annoying and only holding her back from becoming popular.
Bruh.
Okay. Told me she didn't want to ever hang out with me again, but I should still pretend like we're cool or else people would talk. On top of that, threatened to tell all of my secrets if I told anyone that what happened. Blindsided me completely. I cried for days. Luckily for me, some other girls welcomed me into their group, whereas for her, the popular girls were already established and paired off, so she was outcasted for a while. Serves her right. Facts. Like, what the fuck is going on here, man? It's like, you over here trying to get popular, so you gonna throw away your day ones? Like, who cares about being popular, man? You know, like that's overrated, bro. Having a few good friends is like A1, man. Damn. Hey, she got what she deserved, man. I'll be telling you guys all the time. Karma's a bitch. Sometimes it slaps other people more than, others, but it'll get you. It'll get you, man. Screwed me out of a few $1,000s I'd put down as a down payment / security deposit and first and last month's rent on a house we were looking to get. Dumbass made me the mistake of giving money to my friend instead of the landlord, and then my friends disappeared with the money and filled my room with some other dude. Legal action was not pursued, but needs to say the friendship ended immediately. Yo, he gave them the money and they were like, cool, let's go spend this on something else. And then they got another guy off Craigslist, I'm sure, and was just like, yo, we got an empty room. Like, what? That's fucked up. Oh my God. Yeah, they are definitely not friends, bro. Damn. All right. Let me see. She didn't attend my high school graduation ceremony because she was fucking my boyfriend of 2 years. Yo. They started dating a few weeks later. Technically, I was never broken up with. They both just simultaneously stopped talking to me on my graduation day. No explanation, no apology. I still have no idea why. It's okay though because they didn't last. Boyfriend thought best friend was too shallow, so he tried to pursue me again. Ah, you fucking loser. He was smashing up the friend. He had no, remorse, nothing. And then all of a sudden it didn't work out and he's just like, oh, can we get back together? Man, fuck out of here. While he was still dating her. Oh shit. He didn't even break up with the friend. This dude doesn't know how to break up with chicks apparently. He just thinks like, oh, I can just move on to the next girl and then she'll just forget about me, or it is what it is. Like, dude, you need to break up with a chick before you decide to pursue another one. Like, bruh. I guess that's not as common knowledge as we think anymore, huh? All right, that makes sense. I led him on to the point where he thought things were okay between us, then made him call best friend up on speakerphone and tell her that he was leaving her for me. She cried, and then I never spoke to either of them again. Oh! He was like, she was like, if you want to be with me, then you have to break up with her and then we'll be together. And he was like, say less. And then called on speaker. He was like, hey, yo, I don't think it's working out anymore. I don't want to be together anymore. Da, da, da. And then she ghosts him. Just done. And he's just like, what the fuck? I broke up with her for you. Like, come on, man. Yo, she was evil on that one. God. Spent 3 hours listing everything she and her parents had decided was wrong with me. I was 9. I kept myself from crying the whole time until I finally cut out and ran home, where I cried in my closet until I fell asleep. I considered her one of my best friends for years after, because I had trouble making friends, and she lived down the street. Still rides on me every once in a while. Dang, man. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up, because, like, that's your friend's parents. Like, it would be bad enough if the friends were saying that or the friend was saying that, but it's the friend's parents. Like, that's kind of fucked up. Damn, man. Yeah, that is kind of, all right. Stole my life savings to buy meth. Wow. I was in 10th grade, so my life savings was only about $500, but at $5.25 an hour, it took me ages to save that. Facts. This dude is probably working a shitty job. Oh, just to save $500. It took me ages to save that. She knew the sneak out window was unlocked where it was hidden and when no one would be home. So she used the privilege information you only give to friends to steal from me. Even 10 years later, it still hurts. Rachel, you know what you did. Fuck you. Damn. Calling that bitch out by name. He said, Rachel, fuck you. I trusted you with this information about my entire life savings. I only make $5 an hour. Like, come on, man. Damn. Oh, shit. Allowed me to get arrested for the murder he committed? Okay. So there's more to this. So we're gonna read the whole story since he decided to send the whole story. So we're gonna transition a little over from the thread. We'll get back to the thread after this. So I was asked to do one of these. I'm not sure. Okay, my parents were both living in Brooklyn when my mother found out she was pregnant. Once they found out, they moved to upstate New York to have a child. Upstate New York to have a better area for me to grow up in. I was a bad child. I was constantly getting into fights. I was willing to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, for any reason. I have no idea why I was so violent, but I was. My parents grew sick of this. Eventually, they put me in the car and we drove to Brooklyn to visit my grandparents. Instead of driving me to their house, they opened the back door and told me to get out of the car. Then they drove off. I was 13, alone and in the middle of one of the biggest cities in Earth. I had no idea where I was. Yo, his parents just dropped him off. Like, they were just like, get out, little nigga. Like, you want to be for the streets? We gonna put you on the streets. God damn. I spent the first night in an elevator of a parking garage. It kind of smelled like piss. The next day, I was able to find a police officer who helped me locate my grandparents, who I would stay with for the most part until I graduated high school. I was so violent and getting into a lot of fights. Only now I was losing. So for protection, I thought I should join a crew. I did. We worked for others in a crime industry. I feel it actually gave me purpose and a direction in my life, even though it was a bad direction. In general, we collected money, hurt people who didn't pay, and did the usual gang stuff. No drugs, no murder, nothing that would call a lot of attention to us. One day, my best friend and I were cruising the neighborhood when we noticed a man who owed him money. This was personal, not for the crew. We walked over to the guy. I was thinking we would rough him up a bit until he paid what he owed. I was wrong. My friend shot him. Oh, shit. And shot him dead. Took his money and walked away. I was left in shock. This was not something we did. A witness pointed me out of one of those books at a police station of the suspect gang members. I was arrested. They knew I didn't do it, but they also knew I knew who did. Eventually, we made a deal. I turn in my friend and I go free. I did. By this time, it was time to graduate high school. As soon as graduation was over, I left the city and went to college. I stayed the summer there, never went back. This was my escape, the way out of that life. I used it. I was moderately successful in college, obtained my degree, and more importantly, I met the woman of my dreams. Life turned around to be good. She knew who I used to be and was not scared of me or my past. She loved me for who I was. I was no longer the violent person I grew up as. We got engaged during our senior year of college, 3 months before we were to graduate and leave college. She had a trip with a bunch of friends. One final trip. She drove her friends to dinner one night on that trip. She died on that trip. Oh my God. Later, I met another woman. We are currently married with a beautiful daughter, but she knows I wouldn't trade all of that. Yeah, something like that. I wouldn't trade any of that. Dang. Yo, man's lived a crazy life. My goodness. Like, he was a bad kid, and his parents was just like, well, you want that street life? You can have that street life, little nigga. They made him get out of the car in the middle of Brooklyn, and they just drove off. He probably had never seen his parents since that day. And then He finds a police station, finds his grandparents. He's living with his grandparents. He gets mixed up with some gangs. He's with a guy he thinks is his best friend. And he's like, hey, yo, that dude right there owes me money. He was like, oh, yeah, word? He's like, yeah, man. He was like, all right, well, let's go rough him up a little bit till he pays what he owes. Homeboy was like, that's not my plan. Pulls out a whomp whomp and says, schmack, schmack. Ended this man. And then decided, oh, shit. Let's get the fuck out of here. He takes the blame for it because he knows who really did it. And so he was like, fuck that. I'm going to turn him in. I'm leaving. I'm going to, do straight and narrow in high school. I'm going to go to college. He went to college. He was mildly successful, found a girl. And then the crazy thing about it is that, and like I said, this is why I believe in karma, because just a lot of the things that you do, it's like, karma won't happen, sometimes happens right away. Sometimes it takes years. And he found the love of his life. He found the woman of his life. And it was just ripped away from him. Like, now you know what it feels like to lose somebody, you know what I mean, that you really care about. It's like, oh my God. I mean, of course, he got back on his feet again and found another woman and they have a daughter and so on and so forth. But it's just like, whoo, your decisions definitely can come back to you, and it's like, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, may not be next month, may not be next year, it's just crazy. Wow. Hey, shout out to that guy, man. Hopefully he's doing better, but my goodness. Whoo, I didn't think we were going to get that crazy into this thread, but man. All right, let's get back to the thread. We'll do 3 more. We've had exactly 1 physical confrontation in 12 years of knowing each other. It was over risk. I still can't believe he fucking invaded Southern Europe after we'd agreed to let each other keep our continents that turn. Okay, sure. All right. I don't know what all that was about, but sure. When I was in elementary school, he stole my Transformer toy. All right. let's get something a little more, like, bro, come on, man. When you're kids, like, who cares? All right. Was leaving the city for grad school, only back maybe a handful of times a year. He didn't come say bye and went drinking with some mutual friends instead. I offered them all my place to pregame as I was closer to the bar so that we can all chill and I could crash early as I was leaving at 7 a.m. the next day. Really learn who your friends are. Huh? So he was leaving the city for grad school, only back maybe a handful of times a year. He didn't say bye and went drinking with some mutual friends instead. I see. Okay, so his buddy was supposed, he came back from grad school to, came home or whatever. His buddy was supposed to come over and they were supposed to pregame and go to the bar and all that kind of stuff. And he was just going to be there for the pregame and then they were going to leave and go to the bar while he goes to sleep because he had to be up early in the next day. And they never showed up. They just went straight to the bar and said, fuck that nigga. Damn. Yeah, that is fucked up. Because you're thinking like, yo, my friends, are about to come over. They want to see me. They want to hang out. I'm going to pregame a little with them and I'm going to go straight to bed while they go out and have a good time. At least I got to see them. Yeah, I won't be able to go out with them, but at least I'll get to see them. You would think, but no. Damn, that's fucked up. Is currently dating a man who took serious advantage of me while I was unconscious. Oh shit, even though I hate him and refuse to be in the same room as him, she knows what he did. She acts like it was my fault. Oh my God. Her best friend is dating the dude who essayed her. Oh. No. That is like the definition of a bad friend. How in the hell are you gonna date the dude? Like, he forces himself on women, like, bruh. And you want to date that guy? Okay. Yeah, you definitely need a new friend, bro, cuz that is scary. I'd never leave my guard down around that dude after some shit like that. And the fact that she knows and then she sat there and said, "Oh, it's your fault that that happened." Like, damn. All right. Well, let's see. Pressured me into taking a job a few hours, not that long of a drive, but we only saw each other every 2-3 weeks, away from my girlfriend of 7 years. Told me not to propose just yet, wait for her birthday. That was a couple of weeks after moving day. Then started a relationship with her as soon as I moved, maybe sooner. No. So his best friend stole his girlfriend of 7 years because he got a job. Like, he was pressured into getting a job. And then that was away from his girlfriend of 7 years. And then his buddy was like, no, don't propose to her just yet. Wait till her birthday. And he's like, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. I'll wait until the birthday. And then and then while he's away and working and stuff like that, and waiting to propose and all that kind of stuff, his friend is making the moves on his girl, and then they start a relationship on top of that. Yo, that's fucked up, man. That's extremely fucked up, homeboy. Yeah, man, I hope you found a better girl. All right, this is going to be our last one. Went behind my back and character assassinated me and a couple of other friends because he couldn't handle becoming a paraplegic without taking it out on everyone around him. Sorry about the accident, but it didn't give you the right to destroy relationships and hurt people for shits and giggles. Life cheated you, but you took it out on your best friends because they, in good faith, inadvertently made themselves available for you emotional beatings. Or made themselves available for your emotional beatings. We kept you company, cheered you up, stayed with you, took your pain in order to lessen yours, and expected nothing in return. But the nothing doesn't fucking mean we're cool with you. Irrevocably, okay, fucking up multiple 10-year long relationships because you're angry at the world. Asshole moved away after leaving a trail of destruction in his wake and has no friends now. Good riddance. Wow. So this guy gets into an accident. He becomes a paraplegic. And because, he feels his life is ruined now because he's a paraplegic, he's like, fuck all my friends and all of them are fake and this and that. And, oh, did you know so-and-so said this about you? And then he talks to said so-and-so and says, oh, when I was talking to what's the name, they said this about you. And then turning them against each other and just burning bridges and talking shit about his friends. That's crazy. And now he's got no friends. You're a paraplegic guy with no friends when they did all of that for you. That is crazy. He said, dude, we were there for you. We took on burdens for you. We helped you, cheered you up, all of that. And this is the repay you give us. Damn, man. Woo, God. Oh, that was a juicy thread. I did not think that thread was going to be that fucking juicy, but I hope you guys enjoyed that thread, man. That was what is the worst thing your best friend has ever done to you. My goodness. Whoo, that was a juicy thread. My God. That's probably been one of the juiciest ones we've done so far. Goodness gracious. All right. Let's hop into the announcements really quick. I will make them go by fast, and then we'll get into today's Am I the Asshole scenarios. Patreon.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. An exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on Tuesday and Sunday shows. $3 a month. Get you access to all that, baby. We also have our free Patreon episode every single month. So hopefully you guys are checking those out and enjoying those as well. Even if you're on Patreon just for the, free month episode, that's something too. TikTok as well as Instagram. Thank you guys for all the support on TikTok. If you are coming from TikTok, hi, hello. I'm glad that you could be here for a full show, and I hope you're enjoying the full show. I know a lot of people enjoy the clips a little more because it is like bite-sized pieces, and not a lot of people have time for a full podcast. Totally understandable. But yeah, follow us on Instagram, TikTok. If you want to help on the free 99 side even more, head over to youtube.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast, or click the link tree and go to YouTube. Subscribing over there, even if you don't watch over there, does help a lot. I know a lot of you guys are mostly audio listeners, and I do appreciate that. But it does help me a lot if you just hit the subscribe button. That's it, man. That's all I ask for. So without further ado, let's get into our scenarios for today. And boy, do we have a juicy one right out the gate. Am I wrong for just wanting to have sex at night? Okay, for context, I, 28 male, and my wife, 27 female, both work full-time job, sometimes in an excess of 50 hours a week. We both have hobbies that keep us busy, typically when we get home from work separate jobs, but work separate jobs, but get home around the same time. We make dinner, then gravitate towards our separate hobbies unless we have a movie night planned, then make our way to bed, which is where I typically initiate romantically. My wife has recently complained to me that she feels like I don't initiate unless we are going to bed. And basically I told her, yeah, that's intentional. When I get home, I'm stressed and tired from work, so I want to come home and decompress before I get a shower and make my way to bed. If she initiates sex outside of the bedtime, then it's about 50-50 on whether I'm in the mood or not, depending on the day and how stressed I am. And it's not that we don't spontaneously have sex either. She isn't complaining about a lack of sex, just the timing of it. So am I wrong about when I like to have sex? I don't think you're wrong for that. Honestly, when I read the title, I was like, oh man, she must have gained a lot of weight or something like that. And, he just doesn't want to see her. That's what I was thinking. I was completely wrong. I know I'm an asshole for that. You guys can get on me in the comments about that. But I don't think he's wrong, because he looks at it like I enjoy having like a scheduled time, when we have sex, and it's nice. It's like, I know that when I come home from work, I can be like, okay, and I've said this on the show before, like when guys know that they're about to be off work, we plan our day at work. My God, especially if we know we have a day off the next day, we plan that shit in our head, and we're like, man, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna get this done, I gotta get this done, man, I want to do this, or like he said, they have their hobbies and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's like, man, I can't wait to go home so I can do my hobby and kind of decompress a little bit, you know what I mean? And then once you go home, you do your little hobby, you take a shower, you think to yourself, man, ooh, I can't wait to get in bed with my girl, and that's when he initiates, and he kind of likes that routine, and I get it. She wants a little more spontaneousness in there. And if I was him, I'd probably be like, okay, well, look, I'll try to schedule in some spontaneous stuff, but know that, the most of our sex, I enjoy having it at this time, because it just allows me to get shit done throughout the day. I get to, kind of do the stuff I want to do things I need to do, as well as, being able to still give you some time at the end of the night as well. So I think dude's pretty well balanced with everything he wants to do. He might have to compromise just a little bit on the spontaneous stuff, but I don't think that's anything that, is a problem, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, like I think you guys are doing pretty well, so yeah, hey, just be a little more spontaneous, man. That's all it is. On to our next scenario. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend he's the perfect size? All right. All right, longtime fan, first time poster. Me, 35 male, and my boyfriend, 37 male. Oh, so this is a homosexual couple. All right. Have been together for almost a year. We have a really great relationship. We rarely argue, have a lot in common, like each other's friends, love spending time together, and have a great sex life. The other night we were laying in bed talking about the topic of size came up. I think it would be important to note that this is the first time we've ever talked about this. Anyway, we were always talking, and he asks if I prefer bigger, and I said no because I don't. Then he asked if he was the biggest or one of the biggest I've had. I said no because he's not. Oh, I mean, nigga, you should have just lied to him. Like, come on, man, let's be honest here. Like when a girl is just like, am I the best you ever had? It's like, yeah, most definitely. You're definitely number one. Like, come on, man. Let's be honest. I mean, I appreciate the honesty, but hey, that might bring up a little resentment later on. I don't know. Then I told him I thought it was the perfect size because it is. He just said okay and got a little quiet, but I didn't really think anything of it. See, I don't think it was the perfect size thing. I think it was because he was like, am I the biggest you've ever had? And you said no. I think that's where it actually came in. And then, he probably feels like, oh, you just tried to backtrack with the whole like, oh, but it's the perfect size, and it's like, were you, were you really saying it's the perfect size, or, were you trying to just cover up for saying that I'm not the biggest you've had? Yeah, I can kind of see where he's coming from with that, if I'm being honest with you. All right, let me see. He just said okay and then got a little quiet, and I didn't really think anything of it. Then he said he was going to head home, which I thought was a little weird because he initially wanted to spend the night. I asked him if he was okay or if I upset him, and he just said no and left. I texted him and apologized if I upset him, and he said it was fine. Clearly it was not. I texted him in the morning like usual, and all I got was a morning and then one word responses all day. So I apologized again, and he said it was fine again. For the last couple of days, he just seemed distant and standoffish. I really don't know, or I really don't think I'm the asshole here, but maybe I am. I'm no size queen, so that's never really been important to me, and I never thought it was important to him. Should I have just lied and said yes when he asked? Yes. Am I the asshole? Yeah. You should have just lied. Like, look, I get it's bad to lie to your partner and stuff like that, but if I'm being honest with you, small white lies like that and stuff like that, they're just reassurance triggers. That's all they are. Like for him, he just doesn't feel reassured in the relationship now, and that's kind of why he's, being butthurt the way he is. He's just like, dude, now I don't feel reassured. Now I don't feel like, you're actually attracted to me, or, you actually think. And he's just being honest. I give it to him. Like, homeboy was being honest. I can see why he's so confused. He's like, what the fuck? I'm just being honest with my boyfriend. Like, I want to give my man 100% honesty. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And I get that 100%. But I just think it's a reassurance thing. Like when he asked the question, am I the biggest you are, am I the biggest you've ever had? You should have just been like, yes. Yeah, because it's just a reassurance thing. You're not necessarily lying in a malicious way. You're just lying because you care. And I think a lot of people would agree that that's two different things. When you lie to your partner because you care about them and you just want them to feel reassured, it makes sense. And you're like, okay, I see why you would lie to him about that, because you want to make them feel a little reassured. You want to make them feel like, hey, it's okay. I do love you, but I get at the same time, you were just being honest. You just wanted to give your partner honesty. And like, neither of you are the asshole, if I'm being honest with you. It's just next time, maybe be a little tactful and just be like, hey, yes, you are the biggest I've had, or yes, this is the greatest sex I've ever had. Just for reassurance sake, okay? Just for reassurance sake. That's all, man. All right. On to our next one. Am I wrong for finding comfort in my late wife's twin sister? Okay. My wife passed away in a horrific car accident 8 months ago, leaving myself and our 3-year-old daughter behind. I was far too depressed to do anything, much less care for my daughter properly, so my sister-in-law, her twin sister, essentially moved in to help. Man, that must be crazy. Like, think about it. Your wife has a twin sister, right? And then your wife that you love and you care about dies. And then her twin sister moves in. Wouldn't it feel like she's alive again? You know, like it would just, like, from an outsider perspective, it would kind of blow your mind a little bit. And you just be like, bro, it was like, I don't want to be an asshole, but it's just like she died and respawned. You know, or like a clone of her was made, you know, in a lab and then she is back. That must be kind of crazy. Yo, this is going to be a crazy story. All right, let's get into this one. Moved in to help me out. While sobbing about my wife's death together, one thing led to another and we ended up having sex. After the first time, we both felt nauseated with the guilt, but soon came to realize that it was helping both of us cope. She's so much like my wife that when I'm with her, I'm able to kind of forget what happened. Yeah, because like I said, it's like she's there. Damn, that's crazy. Let me see. It's temporary relief, but relief nonetheless. She grew to believe that she was doing a good thing by helping me cope and be a better father to my daughter. It's been a regular thing up until now. I feel obviously conflicted about it. No one can know what's going on as it might tear our family apart, but it's helped me not to kill myself, and I have been a much better father / member of society since we began. I don't know if I'm prepared to stop. Help me see things objectively. How fucked is this? I mean, look, man, you know, I get that you find it messed up because that is your deceased wife's sister, and I do understand that. But if I'm being honest with you, for one, I would think your wife would want you to move on and be happy because, you know, yes, this was tragic, and it's not like you're moving on because you don't love your wife anymore. If you had it your way, you would have been like, hell no, I'm moving on and I'm being with my wife. So it's not like you're doing it in a malicious way or anything like that. So I would think that in death, she would want you to be happy and to move on, you know, and to be able to give your daughter that 2-parent household that sadly you guys couldn't give her anymore. Two, she would want you to, I would think that your belated wife would want you to live on and live on for your daughter. Because, you know, obviously you were having thoughts of ending yourself and stuff like that. And so it's like, is what you're doing wrong? No, not really. Because you're coping with it in the way that you know you can, and you're just doing that within the comfort of, you know, her twin sister. And then I get why it would be easy to do that, because like I said, it's like they're damn near a carbon copy. It's like I have her back again. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, during sex or during everyday activities or whatever, he actually calls her by her name, you know, like, oh shit, sorry, no, it's cool, don't worry about it, like, it's totally fine, you know, because I'm sure when they first started, you know, hooking up and talking and doing all that kind of stuff, he probably did that. He probably called, you know, her by her sister's name multiple times, but she looked at it like, no, I understand it. I look just like her, and you know what I mean? I'm being a mom to, you know, you guys' daughter, and, you know, I'm being around and helping you out and all that kind of stuff. And then it feels like, you know, I'm like, she's back. And so I can understand how it can be tough. So I think what they're doing isn't all that wrong. You know, just because it's like, for one, his belated wife would want him to be happy and to move on and to give their daughter, you know, that 2-parent lifestyle, and for, you know, her husband to be happy in some way. And then it's like with the sister, I could see how he could fall into that, just because it's like, dude, they're damn near carbon copy type shit, you know? So it's like, for him, in a weird, messed up way, he's like, she's not dead, you know? So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments, because that one is a little wild. I don't know what to do with that information, but man, that's wild. Okay. Am I the asshole for not wanting my mom's boyfriend anywhere near my vagina? Okay. So, I'm really stuck in a weird and kind of gross situation right now. I'm 18 female, finishing up high school and still living with my mom, 34 female. So after a few months ago, my mom's starting dating this new guy who's 50. Okay, age gap weirdness aside, things got super awkward for me personally. About 3 months ago, my periods started getting super bad, like talking unusually heavy bleeding and major cramps and just a lot of pain that I've never dealt with before. Obviously, I was like, okay, time to see a gynecologist because I haven't been to one since I was 15 and this isn't something to mess around with. Also, it's time to get a routine pelvic exam anyway. I told my mom thinking she'd be supportive and help me make an appointment. We live in a pretty remote rural area right now. My high school was literally like 50 students and it's like an hour drive to the nearest urgent care even. Also, the insurance I'm on sucks and I need her to help me with the copay, but nope. The next day she's like, guess what? My boyfriend can do your checkup. Yeah, turns out he used to be a board certified gynecologist, but got his license yanked away a few years back. And why does she want him to do it? To save money on the copay since our insurance kind of sucks and to avoid driving 2 hours to see a doctor in town. Now, let me be clear. This guy gives me the major creeps. He's done stuff like not knocking before entering my room, making weird jokes that are definitely not okay, and just giving me those vibes that scream stay away. So the thought of him being all up in my business for a pelvic exam, hell no. When I said as much to my mom explaining there was no way I'm letting her boyfriend anywhere near me like that, she lost it. She said I was being insulting, assuming the worst about her boyfriend, and that I had hurt his feelings by suggesting he couldn't be trusted. She said I was essentially implying he's a pervert. It ended with her saying I was grounded for even thinking he was some sort of creep. So here I am feeling stuck, kind of violated by the mere suggestion, and punished on top of that. Am I the asshole for standing my ground and not wanting her boyfriend to do the exam? I mean, look, if you don't want this dude all up in your business, that should be your choice and respected. Because, bro, that's a little weird if I'm being honest with you. You know, the reason why you go to a doctor is because they're going to keep it professional. You know, with this guy, it could start professional and then go somewhere else. And I think that is her biggest fear with it. She's like, nah, because this motherfucker may, you know, say he keeps it professional during the exam. All right. You know, and they're doing their thing. And then, you know, after the exam, he's just like thinking about her in that way. And all of a sudden is trying to maybe like coerce her into something. Oh, how's your vagina doing? You need me to check up on it again? Oh my God. And then, you know, I can just see that kind of thing developing. And I think that's what she sees too. She's like, look, man, I'm not trying to, you know, do all this. No, thank you. Cause I just, you know, this could go from bad to worse, and I don't even want to deal with any of that. Can I just see a professional, and they keep it professional, and that's that. You know, why did homeboy lose his license? Because he was probably doing some shit he shouldn't have been doing and down there, you know? Like, you ever thought of that? Like, come on, man. Like, come on, dude. That's just... So I don't really think you're an asshole. Look, I get, you know, what the mom is saying. She kind of looks at it like, oh, it's convenient, it's this and that. And I don't think the mom really has malicious intent with it. She just thinks like, oh, you know, I'm saving some money, but at the same time, it's like, look, you know, your daughter's comfort, especially when it has to deal with that area, you know, you should at least, let her decide how she wants to do it. You know, now it'd be different if it was something not to do, you know, with her privates. That would, it'd be like, all right, cool. You know, it is what it is. But since it deals with, you know, such a private area, it's like, you know, if she's comfortable with that, okay, let her do it. But she's not. So I would be like, all right, well, look, fuck it. They'll take you to an actual physician. But yeah, but I don't think you're the asshole. Not at all. Not one bit. Because that's a little, and like I said, homeboy might start out professional, and then homeboy might get a little even more creepy than he already is, apparently. You know what I mean? So, ugh. All right, next one. I broke up with my partner after finding messages of him cheating on me with guys. Oh my goodness. All right, man. Ladies love dating them fruitcakes, man. Them hidden fruitcakes. Goddamn. There's been a lot of scenarios where girls are like, "Oh, my boyfriend wants to peg me," or no, I'm sorry, my boyfriend wants to get pegged by me, and they want to, like, they're seeing other dudes or whatever. I'm just like, bro, it's cool, man. It's cool. Like, if you're gay, it's fine. But why are you wasting this girl's time? I, 30 female, found messages on my ex's 32 male phone of him meeting up with guys. The messages go back to 6 years ago with all different people. When I confronted him, he said it was my fault because he believed I was cheating when I would pick up extra hours at work. He said it was my fault because he believed I was cheating. Oh, so wait. So she picks up extra hours at work, and you're like, man, this bitch is cheating on me. So I'm going to get on Grindr and fuck some dudes? What? He's like, yeah, I'm going to get my booty hole blasted, and shows her, like, huh? Okay. I asked him if he was bi, or I was bi, and he got all defensive and said his past trauma made him seek for that. Okay.
Stop the cap.
I feel sick to my stomach just thinking how I wasted so many years of my life with someone that wasn't honest with me. Yeah, bro, it's cool, man. You're homosexual, man. It's fine. We accept you. You're good. You're all right. Why are you wasting this girl's time? And then you're going to blame her for your closeted homosexuality. Like, it's cool, bro. If you want to be on that side of the fence, you go be on that side of the fence and you go be happy. But don't sit there and get in a relationship with a girl and then blame her for your homosexual, escapades. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, she's over here taking on extra work, and you're over here just like, wow, she's probably cheating on me. She out here lying, all this and all that. Man, I'm going to hit up Jay Quan. Yo, dog, trying to get my booty hole blasted. Like, bruh, come on, man. And then you're going to sit there and be like, well, it was your fault. You were totally cheating on me. And it's like, golly, bro. Man. Low-key, I don't really think he's bi. The fact that he just got like that defensive about it and all that kind of stuff, I think he's just closeted gay, and that's what it is, man. God damn. All right, this is gonna be our last scenario for today. Last one is, I cheated on someone who wasn't fully in the relationship. All right, it was almost our 5-year anniversary, and I cheated 27 female on him, 27 male. We were a great combo of humans together, and he was my best friend. We were so funny together, has the same ideas, and both super creative. We've gone through 2 abortions together, so I feel deeply for him. My goodness. Nothing bonds people together like killing unborn babies. Jesus Christ.
Bruh.
All right. Like she put that in the positives. Like, man, we are great human beings together. We laugh. We have a good time. We're best friends. We kill unborn babies. Like, this guy's amazing. Love him. Like, okay, sure. Like, what the hell? Let me see. Let's see. But the relationship was mainly just me putting in effort. I would pay for everything. Our dates, which were far and few between, but we would just hang out with him and his friends mainly, but I would always pay for his and my part. I would buy him expensive gifts because he was in a band and I was a huge supporter of that, along with his skateboarding dreams. This nigga. All right. I would be the one to drive him always. After 5 years. He would ask me for money because he was always broke, which I didn't mind. I just wanted him to love me. When I love a lot, and just started to feel neglected. Towards the last months, we got into an argument where he said he didn't want to be with me, but we stayed together. Man, god damn. This girl is Ray Charles like a motherfucker. She's just like, all the red flags are there, and she's just like, nope, I don't see him. Nope. Not me. Like, bruh. Love don't pay the bills, baby. Come on now. Like, that's crazy. He still wasn't showing effort, and I still would do so much for him. He started acting bratty towards me after starting a stable job. I was starting to feel more neglected, and even started feeling like I was being used after he made a remark after he asked to buy me him an expensive recording equipment, and I told him it's expensive and that I wasn't going to buy it. And he jokingly said, wow, don't you just ask your dad for money? I know it was a joke, but something about that made me feel so strange. I don't think that was a fucking joke. I think he meant that, and you just took it as a joke because you're there. I love him. It was a joke. I love him. It's okay. It was a joke. Like, come on, girl. Come on now. I ended up cheating on him with an old fling. We hung out one day and almost started doing things, but I left. But I messaged him a day later, and that's when the sexual things happened. We didn't have sex per se, but there was sexual fondling. I feel horrible. I cheated. I know it was the shittiest thing to do to him, and fully regret it. And wish I dealt with our issues a different way. If I was so tired of the relationship, I've been cheated on before him, so I know how much it hurts. But I do miss him so much, and I hate myself, and I know I deserve to feel bad and wish him the best, but I just don't know why I want to still be with him. I don't know either. You know, like, if I'm being honest with you, I don't know either, because this dude doesn't work. You pay for everything. He told you pretty much. He was like, he said, fuck. He said something like, I don't even want to be in this relationship or something like that. We stayed together. So they got into an argument, and he said he didn't even want to be with you. And it's like, that's kind of your cue to ski on daddle. Like, hello, come on now. It's like red flags all day long, and you're just like, nah, I don't see it. Like, goddamn, Ray Charles. Like I said, love don't pay the bills, girl. Like, there's no future with this guy. You can love him all you want, but there's just no future for this guy. And that's probably why you went back to the ex dude, because, you know, he was probably a motherfucking man. And when you were with him, you were at least paying, you know, half on things. You weren't paying everything. And, oh, goodness. Let's see. Or if there is a way to get him back, but was he checked out? And am I just brainwashing myself out of guilt? Would just like some opinions. Look, why are you with this guy? I don't know. And why you still want to be with this guy after he told you he didn't want to be with you? Like, you should have just been like, oh, you don't want to be with me anymore? All right, then is what it is. Like, then let's not be together. And you guys should have just broken up there. And then, you know, when you were doing all this with your ex-fling or whatever, that could have went further and you wouldn't have felt guilty about it. I think the only reason why you feel guilty about it is because technically it was cheating, and so that's why you're feeling the way you feel. But it's just, Like, dude, why are you with this guy, man? I will never understand why girls date the bummiest dudes ever. Look, I get it. I get loving somebody, and I get, having the personality and all that stuff. This guy's probably very good looking. He probably lays down that dick like no other. There's got to be some other shit that's going on here for her to stay and be this infatuated with this guy. Because, look, man, like I said, love ain't gonna pay the bills, and there's just no future with this kind of guy. This guy is just gonna drag you through the mud, and then before you know it, you're like in your mid-30s, and this guy probably is, he probably left you by then because he even knows there's no future in this. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude. And then even if there is a future with it, he might just cheat on you with it. He goes to a show and he's playing and whatnot. There's a girl out in the crowd, and then they have sex or whatever. And he's just like, I'm done with you. I already told you I don't want to be in a relationship with you, but you're dumbass stuck around. It's like, dude, you see the signs. You see them clear in front of you, but you are just constantly wanting to stay in this, and it's only a matter of time before he cheats on you and just leaves, or he goes with another girl, and he's just like, dude, I already told you, like, I don't want to be with you anymore, but your dumb ass stayed, and now I'm in a better situation, and I don't need you anymore, and that's exactly what it is. Is like, homeboy looks at it like, once I don't need her anymore, we're good, I'm Gucci, I'm done. Piece of chicken grease, baby girl. And then you're going to look stupid. Like, I wasted, all my 20s on this guy, right? I'm now, 38 and fucking single because of this dude, or just whatever it may be. Because you were hanging on to whatever you're hanging on to. I don't know what's there, if I'm being honest. Like, what kind of future is there? That's my biggest thing. Like, what future are you hanging on to with this guy? Because homeboy ain't got no job. He can't really hold on to a job. And then you're paying for everything. He's telling you he doesn't want to be with you. He's making jokes. Like, trust me, that was not a joke. All right. He was being serious about that because it was about him getting something. And so when he didn't get it from you, he's just like, oh, why don't you just ask your parents? Like, we can just ask them and they'll just give us the money. Right. That's the thing. Like, bro, he was not kidding. Sorry. He probably said that because you might have felt some type of way at the time and he didn't want to look like an asshole. So he probably said, oh, sorry, I was joking around. Like, we don't have to do that. To spare your feelings, but that nigga wasn't joking. He was not joking at all. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments. Personally, I think you should just move on. You need to find you a better guy because that's crazy. But that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Again, patreon.com/MileyAsshole Podcast if you'd like to get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios like these people did to be featured on Tuesdays and Sunday shows. Get on the Patreon. That's the place to do it. $3 a month gets you all of that. TikTok as well as Instagram. Get on there. And, for the clips, we're ever getting closer to our goal of 10K on TikTok. So thank you guys so much for that. Audio listeners, keep rating as well as downloading the podcast. That helps a lot. I love you guys for all of that support. If you want to help even more on the free 99 side of things, head over to YouTube, youtube.com/MileyAsshole Podcast, or click the link tree and go to YouTube. Subscribing over there helps a ton. If you've already done all of that, thank you so much, and I hope you're just enjoying the episodes as they come out. I love you guys so much. I love all of my supporters. Thank you guys for getting me this far. I can't wait to see what we have in store for the future. The 1 year anniversary of the podcast is coming up this year in August, so that's going to be really cool. Yeah, man. We're going to be doing some cool things. So, again, thank you guys. I'll see you later, and peace.